I'm listening to 49er Rush. Niners all day. Let's bring 6 home, baby. Let's go.
I love it, man.
It's time for the 49ers Rush podcast. And here's your host, John Chapman.
What's going on, faithful? I got to take that screen out. Sorry about that. That's kind of an epitome of what we just saw. The 49ers come up short. They lose 17-10. And yeah, I am with you, Jason. It's so frustrating. There are a lot of red flags, negatives that we got to take away from this. Let's be honest. Now, is it all bad? Hell no. Michael, should we start to be worried about Shanahan's play calling? Yeah, it was problematic. I loved, I got in a little bit of a, people disagree with me. 4th downs were everything. That's where this game was decided, and the 49ers came up wanting big time. We went 1 for 5 on 4th downs. I have 0 issues going for it on 4th down. I don't have any issues at all. I love the aggressiveness. But, yeah, I think some of the play calling, some of the choices, I think having Kittle out hurt a lot. There were a lot of issues. There's no question about it. And this game sucked because the first quarter takes place and you're like, all right, 49ers are basically, like, it felt like they were out. But the defense, man, just kept going and kept clawing and kept coming back. And whatever you say about the offense and how bad that was, and it was bad, okay, it was very, very bad. Trey Lance, we're going to spend a lot of time talking about him, obviously. And I think Trey Lance, overall, we saw a lot of good. He had to overcome all the veteran mistakes, which you don't want with the 4th youngest quarterbacks in Super Bowl to get a start in the NFL. He shouldn't have to do those things, but he did. Kind of put his team in a chance, but the defense. If there's one major positive to take away from this, it's DeMeco Ryans. That dude's here. To get to where the 49ers want to be, you have to win in your division. And that dude called wonderful games. Against Seattle and against this team. This was a much better defensive performance than previous games. This was incredible. So if you're going to walk away and you're like, all right, I'm pissed off and I am mad. I'm very frustrated. I said more cuss words today during this game than I have in I don't even know how long. But again, the defense under DeMeco Ryans played very, very well. Very well. The 3 and outs, nobody's held the Cardinals to back-to-back 3 and outs this whole season yet. We did that, and we added 2 more 3 and outs. I think we had 4 of those on this drive. And if you look at the total stats, I mean, we had more yards than they did. They only had 300 yards, 303 yards total offense. They averaged 440 a game. They're averaging 30-plus points a game. We held them to 17. Our defense did what they needed to do to win this game. There's no doubt, no question. They even forced a turnover. Shout out to number 27. Dude has no business being out there, but he made that play, and he gave this team an opportunity, but Mike McGlinchey's going to take that away. That's just what he is. Tommy says, he says, the Texans are our worst enemy. Thank you for the gift. Tommy's awesome. During 49ers games, it's awesome because I get so many messages through text, email, whatever, across all platforms. And some of my people, you can tell, they're upset and worried. Tommy's one of those guys. We're 2-3. Not ideal. Not ideal. What are we going forward? We don't know. We don't even know who our quarterback's going to be. And it hurts, man. I don't think 49ers could definitely still change a lot of things. There's a lot of positives to work with, but golly, offense is bad. Mr. Superfly says, does your head hurt as much as mine after watching our offense? Man, it was stressful. It was stressful. Not a lot of quick passing plays called, and whenever they were called, Sin, thank you, it was an offensive penalty. which was just ridiculous. The refs did everything in their damn minds to make sure the 49ers didn't win this game. Did we lose this game because of the refs? No. Did the refs help the Cardinals nonstop? 100%. They called 2 holding plays on 1 play. Now, a lot of that is you keep Mike McGlinchey in after just getting obliterated all game by everybody. It wasn't even just J.J. Watt. Yes, Mike McGlinchey should have to rename all of his children after the Watt family because I'm pretty sure they're all fathered by J.J. Watt. That's how bad he destroyed him all game. But it didn't even matter. Plays were being made by people not named J.J. Watt against Mike McGlinchey. Holding calls, offsides calls. I tweeted out, oh man, finally this is the best offensive field position to start the game for Trey Lance, rookie, and it was at like the 36. It wasn't even good field position. Well, very first play, false start by Mike McGlinchey. Okay, now we are back to where our previous had been. Next play, holding by Mike McGlinchey. Okay, now we're back to the 21. Single-handedly, Mike McGlinchey was responsible for about 80 yards, not only of penalties, of sacks, of blowing up in the run game. We get down the Kyle Juszczyk 4th and 1 play. That was stopped by Mike McGlinchey's guy who lined up over the tackle, didn't know the snap count, and beat McGlinchey inside to stop Juice from the tackle position. Like, that was probably the worst offensive performance game that I've seen since Justin School against the Packers last year. That's how bad it was. It was bad. McGlinchey is beyond a liability. He single-handedly wrecked this offense from the start. And any single time they got something positive going, he would ruin the drive. He'd ruin it completely. There was one time where we had 3 offensive holding calls on one drive. And Trey's out there freaking leaving it all on the line, and it's not working. Now, Trey Lance got a lot of issues. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about him. But, Zach, I want to jump into this. Zach says the play calling just sucks. Down by a score, start running the ball. I'm not sure about running the ball was a bad thing. The lack of deep passes was a concern. And, we hit the deep pass to Debo. I think we probably threw 2 or 3 20-plus yard plays. I'll have to go back. And, of course, we're going to go through the film nonstop. Don't worry about that. And we've got a lot of time this week because we're coming on a bye. And the 49ers need it. Let's be real. And, yeah, still, he says Jimmy G would have been sacked 5 times a day. Probably more than that. I'm with you. Probably a lot more than that. Trey Lance got sacked 2 times for 6 yards. But you flip that around, Trey Lance rushed way too many times, 16 times for 89 yards. That is not sustainable. And unfortunately, I already know what Kyle's going to do. I think Trey Lance, the rook, had a chance to steal this job and to make sure it's his. I don't think he's going to do it. I don't think he did it. Did he play well enough to win this game? Sure. Did people stop him? All the drop passes? Golly, Debo had 2 drop passes. And then the biggest drop of the game was Mohamed Sanu. 3rd and long. Hit him right in front of his face. Both hands, palms up, right off of his hands. We would have been inside the red zone at that point. Yeah, it's bad. Let's see here. All-in sports betting. I do not understand the quarterback run up the middle. This is the NFL. Can't run the ball up the middle with the quarterback. It got some yards, but whenever they were doing a double eagle, which they had defenders on the defensive line in both A gaps, and we kept doing it. That's the issue that I had. Like, okay, this is the play call. Guess what? There's 2 guys in both A gaps. Maybe we don't run it straight through an A gap, but we kept doing it. We just kept doing it. Yeah, it's bad. Man, this is a good one because I think this was an issue. Big Mo, he says, kneeling shouldn't be allowed, with only 2 minutes in the game left. You're right, but the 49ers have to waste all of their timeouts during the game because Kyle Shanahan's so late getting the call in, and Trey Lance is so late getting the huddle out. He's the 4th youngest quarterback in the NFL history to start. Since the Super Bowl, 5th youngest ever if you go back to like the 1919s and all that kind of stuff. Like, the dude is young and raw, and we knew that. There's nothing new to that. But you've got to improve. You don't want perfection, you want improvement. And there were so many times where they would show Trey Lance looking to the sideline with 20 seconds on the play clock, and he's still looking, waiting for a call. Like 25 seconds, okay, now he's turning to the huddle, and again, it cuts off. That thing cuts off at 15. So, like, you've got to get those calls in quicker. So, is it on Trey Lance? Yes. Is it on Kyle Shanahan? Yes. It's both. It's both. It's not either or in this situation. It is both. Now, definitely more of that responsibility is going to be borne on the head coach for sure, right? It's not just about this 21-year-old rookie. The head coach got to get the calls in. There's no doubt about that. And I don't care. I get George Kittle's out, and we missed him big time. All those outside toss plays, Kittle's the lead blocker on those every time. We didn't have him. And that caused problems. Nicholas, you're going after my own heart, my friend. He just says Creed Humphrey, Asante Samuel, Rondale Moore. Yeah, that's the trifecta of Chapman draft favorites that I just loved, man. We didn't get any of them. Instead, the guy we got was a healthy scratch and sat on the sidelines, despite needing help in the run game for sure. I really hope we won't. We won't. Caveat, this is what Chapman would do, not what's going to be done. If I was the coach and personnel decider, Trey Lance would be going and Jaylon Moore would start getting reps with the ones. I'd give Mike McGlinchey one more week, and let him know, man, we're either going to alternate series or you do that shit again, your ass is on the pine. This is his 5th-year option, which we just exercised. Like, he's playing for a new deal. That dude ain't getting a new deal. Like, he's playing that bad. He got to change that. And again, the best 2 players on offense during this game, Elijah Mitchell, Trey Lance. There's no doubt about that. Now, you throw in line play, and once we get to the film, obviously Trent Williams, which he had a couple negative play. Lakin played really, really well. But, like, golly, Ayuk, man, disappeared for lots of parts of the game, made 2 incredible plays. Wish we would target him more. Debo, 2 drops. Like, you can't do that. And so, not that Elijah Mitchell was amazing, but he was pretty damn good. He had 9 rush attempts for 43 yards. He averaged 4.8 yards per carry. Yeah, they started getting some negative runs at the end there, but man, run the ball in non-predictable situations, not always on first down. That's huge. Trey Lance rushed for 89 yards. We rushed, again, let's go down to the predictions that I have. And I want to say thank you to Matt for the gift. He says, John, can you give a shirt away to make someone happy? We need it. I'll buy it. I'll let you know what I owe you. Man, thank you so I love it. Matt, yeah, I got you, man. The negative thing is, it will do this. I need a hashtag CC. I can't scroll up all the way to the top of the things. It only keeps like the top 200 comments in my feed. And so we've got, 500 plus people across all platforms. So the next person that says hashtag CC, shirt on me. Let's put it out there. I appreciate it, Matt. I'm going to pay for this one. I don't need you to. Oh, and again, the first one that showed up on my end, I know there's a bunch. Get your hashtag CCs in there. Again, we're multiple platforms here, so it might be different on your screen than mine. We've done that in the past. It goes to Courtney Buchanan. What's up, girl? Go ahead and reach out to me. We're trying to bring some joy into the faithful because we need it right now. So reach out to me. Email me, 49ersrushpodcast@gmail.com. The link is in the description of this video wherever you're watching. I'll get you a shirt on me. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate you caring so much about everybody. And sometimes you need that little hug. You need that nice comment. I feel you strong. AJ, appreciate it. He says, buying you a beer, John. I love it. I told my wife, like, man, dude, I don't have school tomorrow, which is beautiful. I still have football practice, but not school. And so, like, I wasn't sure. I still got essays to grade this week. After I'm done with this, I'm telling you right now, it's time to open some Dos Equis. It's happening. So, AJ, I want to say thank you, man. And again, like, I'll say this. Keep in mind, we were not favored in this game at all. We could have won this game. We could have won it. We could have won this game. The narrative and how everything just would have changed, being 3-2, 1 game out of first place, but you missed it. How do you respond? The 49ers got a bye week. They got 2 weeks off, and damn, do they need it. We got a lot of people coming back and whatever else, but we've got to figure a lot of stuff out. Shanahan has to figure a lot of stuff out. I'm very upset with the play calling. There's no doubt about that. And I think we could see why Shanahan didn't want to move and rely on this rookie yet at this point, but here we are. You got to do something different. You can't just keep doing the same crap. You're an offensive genius. That's who you are. That's who we deem you to be. Step up to the plate. And very similar. I kept saying this throughout the game. The veterans are letting the rookie down. Trey Lance played pretty well. Did he sell the interception? Yes. Did he overthrow Ayuk on a third down play? Yes. But that dude was out there creating off of other people's mistakes nonstop, and he even had to overcome for his coach, and you can't do that. You can't do that. The good news, I feel pretty good about Trey Lance long term. I really, really do. Now, do I feel like the 49ers are going to the Super Bowl this year? Not so much. Maybe some things could change, but the rookie grew a lot today. I personally think, I don't know if I want to say this, but I really hope he doesn't just go back on the shelf. I don't think that would be beneficial, but we're seeing the kid grow up before our eyes. We're seeing it. There were so many positive plays. And once we go through all the film, and if you haven't already, if you want to support the podcast and become the most informed 49ers fan there is, and know really who's to blame, because in the broadcast coverage, we can't see who's covered. So we see Trey looking downfield and then take off running. We got to see who's open. And so we're going to see that once we get into the film, and you're going to get that on Patreon. So go to patreon.com, type in 49ers Rush Podcast, hit subscribe. You join the Frank Gore tier, you get access to all the film. Every single snap of the offense and defense, all 22 coaches tape, end zone, all that stuff. We got it all. We're going to do it all this week. We got time. We don't have a game next week, so I'm going to dive in deep. And I'm going to make sure that everybody walks away and understands this is what Trey needs to work on. This is what Kyle needs to work on, because I think they're two separate things. Sometimes they're going to overlap, but both need improvement. The good news, the youngest QB in the NFL, still, 49ers roster is good. I think it's playoff good. We got to quit getting in our own way. Steven, he says, how was that one play not a safety? Oh my gosh, Steven. I dropped the F-bomb on the Twitter sphere today, and if you guys know me, I don't do that too often. I really, really don't. That's not really who I am. But this officiating was so bad, they tried to do every single thing they could to guarantee the 49ers were not in this game. Third down penalties, not calling pass interference when it was against us, calling exclusively against them, picking up penalties, not calling the fumble play, right? It had to go, it was right in front of the ref. He could see it. And they're told, the refs are told, if it's close and it's a fumble, let it go. No, he blew that crap dead. Like, they're trying actively. Now, do I think that the refs were, like, paid off or whatever? No, I don't believe that. I'm not that conspiracy guy. I'm just telling you they suck that bad. That's how bad they suck, that the outcome seemed to be predicated by the damn zebras. I hate officials. Don't. You guys remember back when we were kids? I think everybody's around my age, where everybody would come to the school, the cops, and they would be like, oh, dare, keep kids off drugs. And you would do, like, these programs, all that stuff. No. Here's your job as a parent. Don't let your kid be an official. Don't let them become a ref. They're bad people. And if you're a ref listening to this, apologize to me. Because why do you always have to shove your face into the game and make it about you? You're there to maintain, and even if you're calling a lot of penalties, call it both ways. Why the hell can't you call offense against Nick Bosa every damn play? Why? I don't understand why you allow yourself to become the crux of the... Nobody buys ref jerseys. I got freaking Trey... Look at this Trey Lance jersey. You can see the top of it. I look good today. I still love Trey Lance. He's got some stuff to work on, but, like, it was bad. The safety, it was back-to-back safety plays. Back-to-back plays holding. Eric Armstead balled out down there, by the way. Again, what would have happened? You get that 2 points. You get better field position the next drive. Does that change the outcome of the game? I don't think so. But we didn't know at that point. Damn refs. Pisses me off. Dr. Blocktopus, he says, I honestly think Trey's going to be a problem after a few years of experience. He shows flashes of the it factor. I'm with you. Just needs time. Yeah, he needs seasoning. And we always want a knee jerk, right? We're all here for the post-game therapy session. And I thank you. If this is your first time here, look at this. We even got this little graphic. Hit subscribe. Turn that notification bell on. We give a lot of stuff away around here. Jerseys, autograph stuff, t-shirts, whatever. Hit subscribe. Come back and join us. We do this 4 times a week. We're here all the time, baby. And it's going to be pretty damn toxic out there in the 49ers world. Okay, the podcasts are just going to be real. And that's okay because there deserves to be criticism. But beware, there are sharks in the water. Don't buy into and subscribe and spend your time listening to people calling for people's heads and all that stuff. Yes, you need to get your anger out, all those things. But again, we are not a toxic fan base, no matter how many podcasts want us to be. That's not who we are, okay? There are positives. And a lot of the positives are right here with you guys, the community, and that's what we're about. Now, I do want to say, if you haven't already, man, you got to come. I don't know who the quarterback is moving forward. You know, definitely Chicago made their choice. I think one of the greatest games of this year is going to be Halloween, when the 49ers go and play Chicago at Soldier Field. Man, tell me Trey Lance versus Justin Fields doesn't sound like the coolest thing in the world. Head to 49ers Rush Road Trip. We got a party the night before. It's going to be incredible. We got group rate hotels discounted on Michigan Avenue, walking distance to the stadium. That's there, 49ersrushroadtrip.com. And we've got the best tailgate in the world put on by the Gatton brothers. We're only selling 70 tailgate tickets. It's unlimited drinks, unlimited beer, unlimited brats, only $30 for all that. Trust me, if you ever been to the game, it costs $20 for a beer. Once you go inside, we got you. We ain't trying to make money. We're just trying to create that environment. Here are some clips from the last party we threw, and this was in Philly. 49ers won that game. They're going to win in Chicago too, dang it. All right, let's jump back to some questions. Thank you, Matthew, for your gift. Matthew Morris, appreciate that. JT, he says, Shanahan's first 4 out of 5 seasons equals no playoffs. You're right. And that is a legit concern. If you didn't have that Super Bowl year where, you know, things went well and it proved that you can get a title, you take that. How many? I think there's 5 franchises in the NFL that have never even made it to the title game. The fact that he was able to take a team that, you know, picked second in the draft and then go to the Super Bowl the next year, that's great. We know he can do it. We know he can, right? We know he's at least good enough to get there. Now, is that a glowing endorsement from Chapman? No, it's not. It really isn't. But understand, this dude's got a long leash. They signed an extension after the Super Bowl year. We've got some time. Again, youngest quarterback in the NFL. We got him. You got to develop him. He's got time. He's got 2 years minimum. Even if the wheels fall off, you've got 2 years. That's just what it is. So understand that's where we're going to be there. It's where we're going to be. All in, he says this, wondering what your opinion is as a coach on our playmakers. Man, I put this out there. Thank you for the gift. You know, I said playmakers make plays in big moments, and we saw that from DeAndre Hopkins, which we covered him really well. There was not one play where I saw, you know, Aziz on D-Hop, so that's huge. That's an improvement over the last 2 weeks, right? Because we had, last 2 games that we saw that same situation. It cost us versus DK versus Devontae Adams. We didn't see that. Josh Norman played pretty well. Yeah, he's physical. He's going to get penalties. That's who Josh Norman is. But when the game was on the line, you just threw the ball up in the air. Jimmy Ward had great coverage on D-Hop. He just came back and made that play. Then the very next play again, guess what? Great coverage by Norman. Playmakers make plays. We're not seeing that. Debo made an awesome catch, but at the very end, on one of 2 deep passes, it was incredible. Perfect pass. But again, Debo disappeared. Debo had drops. You have to manufacture touches for him to get him going. He scored that touchdown run. So, I get we want to be, pissed off at Shanahan because we have to blame somebody. And you're not wrong. Shanahan deserves criticism. But damn, Debo deserves criticism. Ayuk deserves criticism, right? At some point, Man, even Trent Williams, who played really, really well, he deserves criticism. He didn't have that great of a game. Defensively, somebody got to make plays. Fred Warner played well, not great. Nick Bosa played great. Nick Bosa always plays great. You look at just, the stats for what Bosa had, he was all over the place. He had 2 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 5 tackles, 4 solo tackles, 2 quarterback hits. So I saw a tweet like, where's Nick Bosa at? Dude, are you not watching the game? Like, they're altering their entire offense because of Nick Bosa. That's how good he is. He's got 5 sacks in 5 games. He's on pace for 17 sacks. Like, you don't average a sack a game. That's not normal. And plus the 2 tackles for losses and 2 quarterback hits. So, yeah, where are our playmakers? Fred Warner played good. I'm not trying to say he was bad. He ended with 9 tackles. That's great. He played well. But again, where are those giant knockout plays? We're not getting them from either side. They're just not. They're not there. Thank you, Elliot. Really appreciate it. Appreciate the gift. David, he says, you think Trey gets the ball batted down a lot because of his wind-up throwing motion? Seems to me gets a lot of balls batted down at the line. Yes, so 2 things. When you're a defensive lineman playing a mobile quarterback, it's difficult as hell because it's exhausting. Because not only do you have to go this way, you have to stop and play and see where he's going to chase downfield. So they're rotating their defensive line like crazy, and we were doing the same thing. And so after a while, you get tired, and this is a thing of mobile quarterbacks. So when you get tired as a defensive tackle, you stop and you look and you just get your hands up. And that's very effective. Second thing is Trey Lance motion is elongated. Jimmy Garoppolo gets passes tipped a lot because he locks in a little bit too much. Trey Lance gets passes blocked a lot because of that slow motion. And it just comes out. And again, Jimmy kind of lobs a little bit more, touch guy. This guy freaking darts straight through. Now, he's got the height. The release point's good. But J.J. Watt's gigantic, right? I mean, you're going against defensive tackles. DNs are always going to be big. But yeah, tip pass is a big deal. And that's something that's going to have to be coached. You go back to Trey Lance's pro day, and yeah, they were making a lot of strides, and they kind of shored up his release. That's great. But when the play's on the line and you've been running 19 times in a game, you're going to go back to your old tendencies. It's exhausting how many yards this guy rushed for, how many tackles he had. 16 rush attempts plus 2 sacks, threw the ball 29 times. The dude's got to be tighter than he's ever been in his life. That's just the reality of the situation. And whenever you get tired and whenever you get fatigued, you regress. You go back to what is comfortable, not what is corrected. And so, but again, 4th youngest quarterback in NFL history to start. Youngest quarterback ever for the 49ers. He's younger by 1 day than Alex Smith was whenever he first started for the 49ers, which I think is interesting. Tony, Tony says, I think Grant Cohn is brainwashing fans to hate Kyle. I'll say this, and when we cut these clips, I want this clip cut, and I'll tag Grant because I don't want to be somebody that's going to talk about it. That's not who I am. I think Grant Cohn is one of the hardest working people in the industry. I think Grant Cohn does an amazing job at getting people a platform to bring in their material and bring new writers, new podcasters in. I think those are incredible. I actually like Grant Cohn a lot as a person. However, I also will say this. Grant Cohn is an agenda pusher. And so, again, please tag this whole clip and tell him where this is. And I will be honest with him. I consider Grant a good person, but, yeah, he wants to mix it up. That's his goal. And unfortunately, half of my emails are dealing with something that he said or did on his podcast. Grant, but he's been honest on some things. He has led the effort about Mike McGlinchey. He's not wrong on that. Mike McGlinchey's that bad. He's also led the anti-Eric Armstead. Eric Armstead's incredible. You cannot watch this season and be an anti-Eric Armstead player. He was probably, outside of Bosa, the best defensive line player today. Armstead, impacted the game in a very positive way and played incredible. Now, I get it. Everybody's got to kind of pick what it is and whatever. But if you watch the film and see how he's impacted it positively, you're right. But yeah, Grant Cohn, he likes negative takes and he likes to get people upset. And hey, he's got way more followers than I do. So it seems to be working. That's not who I am, and I'm not going to play that role because that's not what I am. I believe in positivity. I believe in building the community, and I believe in being a fan and enjoying things. Grant Cohn will tell you he's not a fan. He doesn't care about the 49ers, not even a little bit. Like, he's told me that specifically. He tells his podcast that. So figure out, and again, I've said this in the past, what are they selling? And if that's something you want to buy, then stick with it. Stick with it. What am I selling? It's pretty obvious, I think. We give shit away. We do meetups. I want to hang out with people. I want to answer emails. I want to interact with you. And in a positive way to increase your fan experience. If you're miserable every single 49ers game, and yeah, it sucks when you lose. That's sports. But damn, man, today was awesome. Golly. We got to see a brief glimpse into what is the future of this franchise that we love so much. And it looked good. It looked really good. Now, there were spots where it didn't. And yeah, it was frustrating as hell losing to a division opponent by 1 score. Yeah, that sucks. But damn, man, the future is bright for the 49ers. Debo's young. Yeah, Warner's young. Kittle's young. He's injured. Trey Lance, super young. You've got Elijah Mitchell. He's young. Yeah, Ayuk, if he can get it together. Like, there's so much here. You've got the ingredients. And we should be greater than the sum of our parts. And our parts are good. We just see flashes. And so when can we piece it together, right? Come on, Mighty Morphin Power Ranger time. Let's do this. Like, it's all there. There is not one team in the NFL that the 49ers, the 2021 49ers, cannot beat. There's not one. Does that mean we're going to beat every time? No, there's a difference. The NFL is made by teams that can win in the trenches, and we can do that at times, but not with all those holding calls, right? So, like, all that to say this, man, back off, chill out, breathe. We got time. Don't let this ruin your week. Yeah, I'm pissed off, and yeah, I'm going to drink a lot of beer later on. Tag me with your drinks, guys. Anyway, but yeah, I do love Grant. I really, really do like him, and I'll tell you this, dude works his ass off, and he gives a platform to a lot of people. So tag him with where I talked about him, and like, I'll reach out to Grant, and I'll tag him myself, because I think that it's important about being a man. People want to, like, you know, talk down to players and all this kind of stuff and attack all the time. That's not it. That's not my play. That's not my play. But no matter how bad this game was, and it was bad, we did make some money today. Shout out to my bookie. Is there anything better than sweating out a fourth quarter win and coming away with cash in your pocket? Well, at my bookie there is. Make your first deposit and receive double, twice as much your money before you ever even place a bet. You double your money at my bookie. That's a dollar-for-dollar match on whatever you throw down, up to $1,000. Now, with that extra scratch, you can get all in on the biggest games of the week, including the Sunday night matchup, Buffalo versus Kansas City, or if you want to bet the 49ers versus Cardinals. There's so much action over there. And as if you needed any other reason to head to mybookie.ag to celebrate the start of Major League Baseball playoffs, go Giants, MyBookie is hosting a $20,000 blackjack tournament for free. Did you hear that? $20,000 blackjack tournament for free. Winning season's here, so get in the game. Get to mybookie.ag now. Use promo code 49ers, 49ERS, to get your double deposit bonus. Or you can scan the QR code on the screen right now. Again, that's promo code 49ERS. So you can double your funds to double your winnings. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. So our bets hit this week. A few of them, not all of them, unfortunately. Got close to hitting almost all of them. But we bumped up. We bought 2 points. You remember the 49ers were, got 5.5 points. They ended up losing by 7. I bumped it up by 2. I told y'all this on the previous show. I said I got 7.5 points. And they covered by 0.5 point. So congrats there if you bet with us. And then our 2-team teaser, we took the 49ers and Texans, and all those points, both those hit as well. So hopefully you bet with us there. And if you did, if you're making money with us, we put a lot more bets every week over on Patreon. Missed on some of our long shot ones this week, but we did get paid on those, which is nice. So give back to the podcast and make some more money where it's at. Now, Kyle Shanahan is talking currently, and so just finished his press conference. Here's the quote. He said he thought Trey Lance could have done better, but he played well enough to win. Then asked who the quarterback is, moving forward and all those things. And this is reading straight from Matt Mayoko. He says, Shanahan says nothing has changed since he said last Friday on if Jimmy Garoppolo is healthy, he's the starter. So Who knows? Maybe we're playing the Bears gig, right? Where, they came out and said Andy Dalton's the guy, and then sure enough, he's not the guy, and then they changed it to Justin Fields. Now, Jason, thank you for the gift. He said, what's your overall assessment of Trey Lance? Let's do this. Let's jump in, okay? You start with the stat line. That's where you start. 15 of 29, not good. It's a 50% completion percentage. 192 yards passing, all right, not great. 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, not good. 2 sacks for 6 yards, that's pretty good. 58.4 quarterback rating, that's bad. Now you look at the rushing. 16 for 89 yards, that's stupid good. 5.6 yards per average, stupid good. 3 drop passes for significant plays. One of them was in the red zone to Debo. Was it a good pass? No. Was it slightly behind him? Yes. Did it hit him in both of his hands, the palms of his hands? Yes. Did Debo take his eyes off the ball? Yes. Next drop pass. Mohamed Sanu, 3rd and long. Did the ball wobble? Oh, no. Anybody talk about wobbly passes? I think I'm going to just mute all those. I don't understand it. The ball hit the wide receiver in the hands on 3rd and long, right in front of his face. You catch the damn ball. I don't care if it's end over end. You catch the ball. So Trey Lance played well. Favorite thing about Trey Lance, that dude leaves it on the line. You could dislike him. The dude's tough as hell. That 4th and goal, I think that ball might have touched, but if it would have been called a touchdown, it would have stayed a touchdown. If it wasn't, it wasn't. That was a great play by them. But the dude left it all on the line. He's not pulling up. He's old school. He's young, but he's old school. Tough as hell. He's so tough. Justin Simmons went into the locker room with a stinger and was out for 2 quarters because of a quarterback at the goal line stand. The dude's tough as hell. Popped up, no issue. Got tackled to the ground 20 times this game. No issue. He didn't, limp around or any of that stuff. Dude popped up and kept playing. So, again, we go back to this. Let's jump back now. What are the reasons why quarterbacks bust in the NFL? Okay, what are the reasons why they do? Number 1, they're put in a bad environment. They're not built around them. They don't have a good offensive line. They don't have good play callers. Don't have good wide receivers. 49ers are fine there. Now, again, I know a lot of people are pissed off at Shanahan right now, rightfully so. But no. Understand this. 49ers are a good situation, okay? So good of a situation. Tom Brady wanted to come here. Aaron Rodgers wanted to come here, right? We understand, back up, look at the whole picture. It's not a bad situation. We got that check marked, okay? Work ethic. Nobody has a better work ethic than Trey Lance, right? Well documented. Pass out all the iPads and stuff like that. Who logged the most time in the playbook for the entire 90-person 49ers roster? Trey Lance, number 1. Okay, check that one. Leaves it on the field. Check that one. Talent. Check that one. He just needs to learn, right? And so your question is, what's my overall whatever for Trey Lance? Dude's raw as hell. And we knew that, Jason. And I'm okay with that. But just like what Kyle Shanahan said, you mean to tell me we lost this game because of Trey Lance? Please, somebody come at me with that. That's total horse manure. We lost this game because of Mike McGlinchey. We lost this game because playmakers disappeared. You could say that. We lost this play calling, sure. But golly, we did not lose this game because of Trey Lance. That dude fought tooth and nail. The dude got his helmet ripped off 3 times this game and just kept popping up and delivering on 3rd and long. How many 3rd and longs are you going to put this rookie into? That was the problem. Now, we finished 3 for 11 on 3rd down. Not great. It'd be 3rd and 20, and he'd get 16 yards. That's the issue. If it's 3rd and 20, and he gets 16 yards, he's doing his damn job. That's what I'm saying. Now, real quick, got a jersey giveaway to announce, baby. Today, I'm here to tell you about pristineauction.com. If you're into sports memorabilia at all, this is your number 1 nonstop shop. They've got everything. And if you use our promo code RUSH, you get $10 off your first item. And they have everything. They gave us compliments. Check this out, baby. We got an autographed Trey Lance jersey. You can get this and a whole bunch of other stuff, which, again, finding a Trey Lance autographed 49ers jersey is difficult. Thank you to them just for sponsoring the podcast and hooking us up with this gear. And here's the best thing about it. The more of you sign up, the more stuff they give us to give away. We'll be giving away this bad boy at the 49ers Rush Road Trip coming up in Chicago. So if you want to win this or other memorabilia, signed jerseys, helmets, everything that you can think of for any sporting team, they've got it over there. So head over there, let them know the 49ers Rush podcast sent you by using the promo code RUSH. All right, I'm getting a little behind here on my questions, so I apologize. I want to get to as many as I can. Andre, thank you so much. He says, does the NFL report mistakes by the refs like the NBA does? Yes, they do. However, it's not near as common that the NFL says, whoops, we missed it on those, because they're all subject calls. You can hide behind whatever you want whenever you look at those pass interference calls. It's a flip of a coin, or the holding calls. There's holding on every play. There were 2 holding calls on the very last play where they chunked it downfield to, to D-Hop. I watched the play over again, 2 separate holding calls. Like on that one play, they just don't call it. It's always one-sided. It's always against the 49ers. It's what it is. Kyle, Bill Belichick had a losing record his first 5 years as a head coach. Bill Walsh had a losing record after his first 5 years of his coach. And again, Bill Belichick got fired from his first head coaching job. That's what it is. Bill Walsh, yeah, it took a while, rebuild it, and then it just took off to the house. And, you know, the career paths of Bill Walsh and Kyle Shanahan were identical through 3 seasons, right? But then after that, it took a turn. But we got to wait. This is early. How quickly we all forget Tom Sula, Chip Kelly. I don't want to go back there, and we're not there. And so, like, I see the people say we need a new coach and all that stuff and whatever else. No, get that crap out of here. 49ers not making the playoffs this year? Maybe not. But are they eliminated from the playoffs? No, not at all. They're not there. They still control their own destiny. The biggest problem with the 49ers, they're 0-3 in the division. That's an issue. That's a major issue. Roland, still think this team can get it together for a playoff run. The talent is there. It's a long season. Right. I think you're calling it perfectly, Roland. It's 5. We still have 12 games left to play. We're 1 game below 500. Not to mention an extra team gets in the playoffs this year. You look at that schedule, there's still every single game is winnable. But again, Colts haven't been playing well. Bears, they're up and down. That's going to be the funnest game ever, by the way. We get to play the Cardinals again with 3 weeks, and Kittle will be back by then. Got Jacksonville Jaguars. Minnesota almost lost to Detroit this week. Seattle without Russell Wilson. Bengals, yeah, they're good, but still they're not a complete team. Falcons, are you kidding me? Titans, they're either hit or miss. And then the Houston Texans. Like, the NFL's tough, guys. It's not easy to win. It's not easy to win. It's just what it is. And yeah, you stick with your damn team. Now, if we get to the point where we're not in the playoffs, then we get to that point. We're not there now. And I freaking love this team. Now, this one, I'm with you, from Lunkers. Why the hell did Travis Benjamin get so much playing time? Dude can't get any separation, holding calls on non-existent plays, no idea. Jawan Jennings has been lights out in limited snaps. I called last week for Jawan Jennings to get more playing time. Instead, he's a healthy scratch. You pull up some old dude with freaking rust everywhere and just non-factor. I don't understand. The snap count's going to piss me off. Travis Benjamin should not have been active. Did not look good whatsoever. Trent Sherfield should have got so much more of all those targets. Where's Trent Sherfield? Why are we not getting him targets? There's issues there, man. There's issues for sure there. Now, a couple other positives that I want to get into. 3 and outs by our defense. I think that's number 1. First downs on offense. Like, big picture, we moved the ball the entire game. I think we had like 7 or 8 drives. We were in the opponent's territory. We just got stalled up with penalties and 4th downs. You capitalize just on a couple of those, you're just fine. And a lot of reasons why you couldn't convert on 3rd down, we were 3 for 11 on 3rd downs, is because you couldn't. It was 3rd and long. We had 19 first downs. Okay, so let's, simple mathematician right here. I'm a smart guy. 1 for 5 on 4th downs, 3 for 11 on 3rd downs. That's 4 first downs. That means we had 15 first downs on first or second down. That's insanity, right? Explosive plays early, that's great. You just got to be able to answer the call and cash in those prizes, right? That was the problem. We didn't cash in. There's nothing about this entire game. You look at it, 9 passing first downs, 7 rushing first downs. So like people are like, oh, Trey Lance just runs the whole time. Really? He had 9 passing first downs. Kyler Murray had 11. So like, no, you can't say that. You can't say that. So like, that's a positive. Elijah Mitchell, he looks great. He looks great. No issues. We ran for 152 yards. I said my number one thing that I was looking for in my keys to the game, you got to run the ball 32 plus times. We didn't hit that. 32 plus times. We didn't hit it. I said we needed to force 2 turnovers. We forced 1. So we missed that one right there. Couldn't lose the turnover battle. Instead, if you want to count the turnovers on downs, we lost that one. It's whatever. Kept it close early, even though we were down by 10. But yeah, we could have kept going. We should have kept running the ball. Running the ball is key, and not with your quarterback. Designed running back runs. That's huge. It just changes everything. So I don't know. Where am I after this game? I'm frustrated. I'm left wanting, right? Like, I'm not satisfied because we're so damn close. And it's just like, it was like written, right? Like, Trey Lance comes out. We knew it was going to be messy. It's his first start ever. And at some point, Trey Lance was going to turn it on and be what he could be. And we didn't get it. We didn't get it. From Zark, he says, first game has 200 yards passing, 60 yards rushing, and that's somehow a bad game. Yeah, you're spot on, man. He had 89 yards rushing, and 192 yards passing. Yeah, he was all over. And so we got to figure this out. But there's a lot of positives. I can't wait to get through this film. Oh, I cannot wait to get through this film. Join us on Patreon. Watch the film with us. All those things. Also, it's our bye week. I got to put this out there. We have our monthly Patreon Zoom hangout. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about. That's going to be next week. We don't have 49ers game next week, but we still got some 49ers football to talk about. Again, you join the Jerry Rice tier. You get all the film. You get all that stuff. And we're going to be hanging out on Zoom, just chatting back and forth, going through a lot of this stuff. So, deep breath, everybody. We are good. You're part of the faithful. Faithful means forever. That's who we are. There's a lot of stuff to look at. There's a lot of stuff to look at that are positive here. We went through a lot of that. We'll be back. We got 4 episodes this week. We're going to have Patreon breakdowns at the wazoo, all those things. Really appreciate your time. Appreciate your energy. Please hit subscribe if you haven't. And above all, this is key. Stay strong, faithful.